Looks good. We're live. All right.
No better feeling. Unless you have anxiety.
Only a little.
So, boys, everyone had a good weekend.
Yeah, pretty good. How were you guys this weekend?
Just wrapping up some moving stuff. Took me about a month or two to finally get my place from out my old place completely out. Feels good. Gonna have to probably hire a cleaner. I realized for 4 years living there, I did not clean it very much. So when you move everything out, it's like really rough. But
clean what you needed to clean.
Yeah. I also got and we'll talk about this more later, but I've been preparing a good amount for TBC. My mage finally hit 60, which is important for gold farming. Going to be really important going into. Yes, we hear you, Kevin.
Testing.
But yeah, it was a big weekend. Very excited. Big things happening. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, we just worked on the bus. I don't know if everybody knows, but I'm converting a school bus into a tiny home to travel hopefully by August around the United States with my fiance. She's a travel nurse, and we're almost done with the subfloor. We really are
August,
pretty close
around
so
the United States with my fiance.
every weekend we're working on it. But
She's
other than that, travel nurse, and we're almost done with the subfloor. We really
Taylor,
are
our special
pretty
guest
close
today.
Around the United States with my
Every
fiance.
weekend.
Good weekend.
Busy as always. Knows what we're doing. We host a lot of tournaments over the weekend,
Taylor,
so there's a lot of preparations for that. So I'm excited to be here. I got some team working here with those tournaments right now, and like I said, happy to join. Talk shop.
We will talk some shop, and yeah, I think it was pretty cool the fact that you guys are putting on a $5,000 tournament today.
It's our first one, so excited for it. We've done well by all accounts. Internally and externally, it's looking good. We hit our KPIs before the tournament, and very happy with the way the tournament's running right now, which is great. We've got 2 divisions that are just finishing up. It's 5 o'clock now. 2 divisions on gather.gg for a $5,000 prize pool for Call of Duty Warzone. It's a heat race, a kill race. Excited to be hosting it.
Is Finn playing in it too?
Yep, Finn, and then a TikToker, Sabasarone, who's with Team Envy. He is one of the top Call of Duty streamers on TikTok. So just happy to have them and their communities involved in this tournament.
This will age me or show my age, but they're streaming on TikTok. Like that's.
I don't think that they're not streaming on TikTok.
He's just like big on TikTok.
He's a TikTok creator, and he's got a following. A lot of his clips are of Call of Duty, so they categorize him as a Call of Duty creator.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I haven't downloaded TikTok yet. I don't know.
I've avoided it.
I'm not there yet.
The way of the future, as is gaming. So
right.
Right. Got to be able to communicate with everyone, right? Everyone's getting younger. Everyone's playing games at a younger age, getting more involved, and the connective tissue in gaming is supported by all the social platforms out there these days. And got to go to where the people are.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin, what'd you get into this weekend? Kevin, you there? I think we lost Kevin. Yeah, just 1 second. Okay.
Power.
Have like a different thing happening, and we making improvements on our house and doing things like that, even though we're just renting it. It's nothing like hardcore improvements, but ultimately it's a good time. Hung out with our neighbors a little bit this weekend too. It was fun.
I'm excited it's spring, and it sounds like everyone's getting out. And just going to the park today, it was rejuvenating seeing everyone just having a good time. Things normalizing a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I got my first shot like a couple weeks back. Yeah, I think
Nice.
And got my second one coming up soon. So yeah, it just makes you feel more comfortable about getting back into the swing of things. The world needs it right now.
I go on the 27th in like 2 weeks for my second. So
I got my second this past Tuesday, and I don't normally.
Did y'all get sick?
I got a little sick. Yeah, I rarely get sick. Like I don't do the flu shots, or I have not done the flu shots in years, and just overall, generally do not get sick too often. But the second shot, it like got me feeling all sorts of funky, and it's like my head in the clouds. But other than that, I tried to stay focused. But it was a little bit of a just power through it, stay hydrated, feel fine today.
Nice. I had a headache and my arm was sore like you usually would when you get a shot, but and I guess I was really tired, I like passed out and stayed asleep, but
I don't know about you. I don't know where you all got it. I got it at the Dome, the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Did y'all get it there?
Mine was
somewhere else.
Mine was in Athens.
Yeah, mine was pharmacy. No wait or anything like that.
It was. There was some wait. I probably could have chose a better place, but it felt like straight out of a movie. I was like, "What is happening?" Like there was so much military, so many checkpoints, so many like just random people walking around, like going off the beaded trail. Like
that's crazy.
And, yeah, I and you guys know me. Like I was trying to find the opportunity to potentially be really goofy or make a fool out of myself. And I discovered that opportunity when we got to like the final checkpoint and we walked into this room. There's like 200 chairs, like single file and like duo file. And I awkwardly walked in there and they gave you like a number and like there's this lady at the front. And it felt like a game show. It was like literally, she was like, ticket 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, 155.
It was like a DMV.
Yeah, so it was like a DMV mixed with a game show. And like instantly I was like, this feels like I want to say something about this. And when my number was called, I was so close to being like, bingo! and just like screaming out loud. And I did it because there's so much military there. I probably would have gotten into trouble like if I did something. So I just went up to the lady when I gave her my ticket and was just like, did I win anything? She was like, go to the back. But no, it's a relief to have it over. Definitely a memorable experience. We'll tell our grandchildren one day.
2 seconds. My banner's about to fall down. Keep talking.
Proud ATL United fan. Do not let that banner touch the ground. Yeah, Brian taught me how to play soccer. I mean, we joke about it. Like if this was FIFA, I was at like a level like I would say 45. Skill cap 99. But the reason why I was at a 45 was because my speed was pretty high and my aggression was very high. So it was, a football player playing soccer. I tried to play like that, and I definitely got a lot of fouls very quickly. And so Brian would work with me before and after games, and ended up scoring a few goals and, having some foot magic. Taylor, you played lacrosse, didn't you?
I played soccer, man.
You played soccer?
Ooh.
My bad.
Got a couple championships with Woodward.
Oh, my bad. I'm not discounting that at all. High school mates.
That was in the past.
What did you play? Forward, defense?
I was a goalkeeper.
I can't get anything right with you. I'm sorry.
Good. You know what I do now. was a long time ago, right?
Gosh,
Somebody was talking about soccer.
Yeah.
Taylor was our goalkeeper for our championships back in the day at Woodward. Our alumni friend.
05, 06. I just dated myself.
Goalies are crazy, man. Mad respect.
It was definitely a fun position. I like keeping everything in front of me, kind of like what I do now. I gotta, keep everything in front of me as a founder of a company. You sort of got to make sure everything's working together to accomplish goals. So, I've always, kind of had that mindset. Just keep everything in front of you, and deal with the tough situations, aka the goals, as they come. Which fortunately was not too often for me. So,
yeah.
Well, I think that's a good transition, Kevin. I don't know how you're feeling, but I think we should dive into the podcast as we have people introducing themselves and telling the world what we're all about.
Absolutely. Everybody that is watching, which is probably just me on my phone, this is the Dub Talk podcast. Welcome. We talk about esports news and esports related activities and gaming, all things gaming, truly. We're going to introduce the podcast one more time, maybe a couple more times, because we were going to have new listeners, and just want to make sure that people know what's going on. We are the three of us anyways, myself, Brian, aka the Bear Jew, and Jordan, aka Jamamathon. We are part of a company called Evolve Gaming, and we are a big esports conglomerate of sorts. Would somebody that founded the company like to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I like how you defer it to us each time, just because you're a post founder, as you would say.
Yes.
But no, Evolve. We're focused on a few different core things. Tutoring is what we've really led with first, working with high schools primarily. Our alma mater, Taylor Woodward, has welcomed us into their esports program. We're also working with another school called the New School. Gets confusing sometimes. And trying to work with some other schools in the Atlanta area, but not limited towards that. But yeah, education. I say that because education and tutoring is kind of one of the main things that we're focused on, as well as accessibility, event creation, tournaments. We mentioned this last time in the last podcast. We had our first AGS tournament focused around fundraising and awareness for accessible gaming. And we had United in Gaming and Gather as our partners in crime for that, and couldn't have done it without them. But yeah, that's a little snippet about who Evolve is. Brian, did I miss anything?
And we have merch.
We have the merch.
We have the
meat.
So do we.
So lifestyle brand. Okay.
The chief merchandising officer here. Gotta make the plug.
That's beautiful said.
It's funny.
Yeah, so we're here again just to bring you the news, to bring you some fun stuff. Let's introduce ourselves. My name is Kevin.
That's it.
I'm the only one part of this podcast. I know I kind of already introduced all of us, but who are you guys? Go ahead and give us a little bit about who you are, Brian.
I'm Brian Sandler, aka the Bear Jew on Xbox Live. Sandler like Adam, but only very distant relationship. But I am the chief marketing officer here at Evolve. I am in charge of merchandising the brand, also social media outlets, outreach, working with content creators, trying to produce montages, graphics, creative, pretty much is what you could say I'm in charge of. But we all are very creative, so it's more of a collaborative. Jordan, what do you got?
I am Jordan Plank. I will say my full name every time since I already let it out to the world. People call me Plank. There's a lot of Jordans all out there, but I am a co-founder of Evolve alongside Brian and post-founder of Kevin. And I'm in charge of day-to-day operations. I'm like to handle a lot of the sales, reaching out to partnerships, Trying to work on development as well for our website, and potentially creating some products. We have some ideas down the road to potentially gamify everything that we do, which I will be working on as a long-term project. But yeah, also I hate bees. I just hate bees. That's the thing.
Get them out.
We're gonna keep it every podcast.
Probably like maybe this might be the last time I mention it. It's probably the joke is stale, but it's I want people to remember me, and it got stung in the eye one time and it was horrific, but
Hey, it's bee season, so
I know that's why I'm reminded of it. Like
bee box outside right now, so
I'm grilling out there, like freaking out, like get away from me, damn bees.
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
I'm Kevin. I'm the post founder. As they said, I came in afterwards, but before they were kind of fully developed. I mean, we're never going to be fully developed, am I right? But
no.
My name is Kevin, aka Iro, aka Kevin with a K. I don't hate bees. I have an oily face right now, and I am ready to help grow this company. I am the CSO, aka Chief of Slacking Off. Schools for Nerds, am I right, kids? Just kidding. Don't do drugs. And I take care of some things here and there, everywhere, strategically. You can pretty much put strategy on anything, so I just kind of have my hand in a bunch of different pots. Winnie the Pooh style. Yeah, absolutely. And with us today, we have a guest who needs no introduction from us because he will introduce himself. Go ahead.
No, thanks. Appreciate y'all having me. I'm Taylor McDermott. I am the co-founder of United in Gaming. I'm also the president of United in Gaming. We're based in Atlanta, and we are building a platform, as Jordan alluded to, called Gather.gg. And Gather.gg helps gamers of any ability come together and find like-minded players and groups for fun and friendly competition. And also, it's turned into a way for us to empower real-life communities to use gaming as a way to stay connected, grow, and thrive. And I'm happy to join and be here with you guys.
Yep, we've got a fun topic for us today. We're going to be talking about all things Gather and United in Gaming, but more specifically, we're going to be talking about putting on esports events and what that's like and what makes a good one. And before we get into that, we're going to get into our pre-game lobby. This is the section where we talk about anything esports related or gaming related. We start with our esports news of the podcast. This is kind of things that over the last maybe month since we've put out a podcast, we believe is newsworthy related things. And Brian, take it away.
Let me start it off here. You guys are having a Call of Duty tournament, right, Taylor? Today
we are right now.
So I bet a lot of you, your participants, are using those new Psychov pistols that were released for Modern Warfare.
Boy, are they ever. I am still trying to get my 4 qualifying kills in 5 matches.
Right, just to unlock them.
But I have been seeing the videos, and I know Thind has been racking up 20 kill games with those left and right. They're broken.
They're broken, yes. So
it's fun content, and you get some good hot mics at the end of these some of these game chats.
Oh yeah, the death mic reactions are always a pleasure to hear. Not always G-rated, but if you're not aware and you're not really in the community of Call of Duty, they released the Psychov pistols a couple of days ago. Let's just say at their peak, they have an 80-round drum mag. Now imagine a pistol with an 80-round drum mag underneath it. Looks totally ridiculous.
Really
they could be right. They could be automatic. It's basically an SMG, a pocket SMG, and then they can also be akimbo. So
wielded,
dual wielded. I mean, you're running around there just and then you kill people. It's not very fun, honestly. Being like having them used against you in Warzone. I can tell you just the few games I played this morning, I almost raged and threw my controller. So
did they forget what made the Diamati's so good?
I don't know. I think they're getting bored right now. Raven right now, and they're like, well, we just need what really ridiculous stuff can we just like release?
Viral. What can we release to go viral?
What do people like?
Ruffles and feathers.
Oh,
Yeah.
smart.
So,
That's a good point.
I will say Courage. If you guys aren't familiar with that content creator, he tweeted out, some things that he was looking for on Twitter, like to be fixed. And Raven did respond and said there are fixes coming in. So, like, if you guys are familiar with the rose skin, the all black skin that is like impossible to see, if you're in like a dark room or a dark window, you can't see him. They're going to be fixing that. They're going to be doing balances to the Psychovs and the FFAR. Also, I think they did balance the AUG and the M16, but they basically responded to him and said, "We hear you. We're going to be making these changes. Hold tight." And whatever else they have planned, who knows? I think at this point they're really just trying to do something crazy, like you guys said. The next topic I had real quick was if you're into League of Legends or Teamfight Tactics, which I have gotten addicted to, honestly, Teamfight Tactics, especially since you can do a mobile, version of it, and I can just pull it up on my phone and play it whenever. A new set's coming out. So set 5 is going to be released. It's called The Reckoning. Players can also download the PBE right now and play the full game. It's still kind of in the beta, which is what that kind of stands for, PBE. But the full game's going to be released April 28th, and I'm pretty pumped about it. It's like a whole different set than the previous one. This previous set had a mechanic called Chosens, so you would have a tier 2 champion off the rip if you found the right one. This new set, it's no more Chosen. So, and no more Fortune. If you guys are familiar with the Fortune class, basically got you a lot of gold. But this set's more about good and evil. They brought back some champs that you haven't seen in a while. From the content I've seen so far online, it looks pretty good. I downloaded the PBE and have played one game so far. Got my butt handed to me, but I'm addicted already. And if you guys are into TFT, check it out.
Yeah, I've got a couple of my roommates are starting to get into TFT, and one of my close friends lives in another state. He used to play TFT, and like he was like masters in TFT, and then he dropped it, and he made it sound like if he tried to go back and play TFT, he would basically have to relearn the game because every set that they release changes the outcome, like the play of the game entirely. The game isn't like incredibly mechanics oriented. It's not like
well,
they're APMs or anything like that. There's some of that, but it's mostly just about strategy. And every set that's released seems to change up the strategy like on its head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was like the stables, right, where you're trying to get econ at a certain point. 10 gold will get you 1 interest, 20 gold will get you 2 interest, so on and so forth. So those mechanics stay the same, but yes, they're trying to really make it fresh, and every set is kind of has a weird mechanic that they bring in. I think set 3 or 4, set 3 was galaxies, so you would only get a certain champion on the carousel that was centered around a certain class. But I'm looking forward to the change. I think this past set that I played it quite a bit, and they've got also like a change the mechanics to the items. There's like light and dark items, so they're really playing on that light and dark. And like apparently there are some team comps that will counter other team comps. So I'm really excited to get into it and see what it's about.
That's awesome. Jordan?
Yeah. Before I go into, I guess, my topic, I thought you made a interesting point there about just new gun releases. I think in FPS, Taylor, you said this about why, like, they've done this so many times, like, and they probably test these weapons. Like, why would you release something that seems just so imbalanced, and for someone to get a hold of that and it just like destroys the rest of the lobbies if this one person has this gun? But I thought you made a good point, because it's like, because of all this raging about it, it goes viral, and it's like a hot topic to talk about. And maybe that's the reason why they release such imbalanced weapons all the time. I feel like every month we're talking about like the newest weapon being like, what the like like you have to use that. I just thought that was a good point there.
Yeah, and the creators of the game have been getting flack since they started releasing the COD games, decades ago. Maybe not that long, but long story short, I think that they've just figured out a better way to monetize the hate as opposed to try to absolve it. They can't absolve it. It's going to be never ending. Like, they always are going to be given flack about something because long story short, they don't put in the type of effort that like Riot Games does to balance their games and to make sure that they're bug free and player friendly. Like, that's just not what their focus and their priorities are. So instead, they've pivoted to this like antithesis villain type creator where they're going to help people create content, promote their own game through those avenues. And I think that's an amazing point that you brought up, Taylor. And it's such a slick maneuver. I hate it, but I have to respect it.
I hate it too, right? You
doing it.
hate it, right? But at the end of the day, you see people up in arms because it's kind of against the integrity of the game and the integrity of the competition, especially when you start dealing with, I'm in the competitive tournament space, seeing those types of situations arise, it lessens the equalness within the playing field. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see them quick to fix it, or, right now they're in the middle of a CDL league. So right now it's just like, well, I guess it's also not within Warzone that they're using these weapons. They're in different game modes that they're in, but at the same time, you got to make sure you protect the integrity of the game, and that's why you see them quick to respond because, hey, they're the villains, but hey, then they're the heroes 2 weeks later. Like, thank you for finally fixing this. Like, you did so good, and they get the best of both worlds.
Right.
Dynamic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what villain I would compare them to. Like, definitely some Marvel, maybe some Spider-Man, the Green Goblin, like
Two-Face.
Yeah,
a little Two-Face,
Definitely
like playing both sides of it. Like, we're sorry, like we didn't mean to do this.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my topic, quick and short. Speaking of courage, yes, definitely know who Courage is. Valkyrie just became part owner of 100 Thieves with Courage and Nade Shot, which I love their story. I mean, they're all 28, young, bringing on, Valkyrie is, I think, a great move by them on many fronts, bringing in her audience. I don't follow her too much, but she seems like a great, genuine person. I don't know exactly what business aspects that she brings to the table, but she's definitely built a great following. But I thought and I saw this in other esports news, is it kind of ruffled some feathers of Nick Merckx, because Nick has, I think, had some beef with 100 Thieves because of being separated from the organization at some point. I don't know the full story, but I think at some point he was like kind of promised a small chunk or 5%, which seems like a small amount, but with a company that big and growing rapidly, that ends up being a lot. I don't know quite what to think about. It could just be some drama. I mean, Nick Merckx is doing really well for himself. He's part of FaZe, and I think maybe he stirred up this drama to, like we talked about, bring in content, bring in news, and we see that all the time. And entertainment it may not be a big story actually, but it's worth talking about, and you can bring up content, endless content and drama to keep talking about there. But I thought that was pretty big, big organization, and a big move on their part. But yeah, that's it for me in the esport news front. Kevin, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah. So I have a couple of things. They're not super huge news. I mean, the second one definitely isn't, but the first one, Logitech G just became the official hardware provider for Twitch Rivals, and Twitch Rivals does a lot of different games and a lot of tournaments, and has massive viewership for their things. I mean, it's intentionally they get streamers and popular like professional players and professional teams to compete in these different games. And now that Logitech G is like the official hardware provider, not that it's a surprise. I mean, I've got a Logitech headset, I've got a Logitech mouse. I'm not exactly one of the people that's raving for you to get HyperX anything. I mean, HyperX is great too, but I've had positive experiences with Logitech the entire time. I know that most FPS pros use the Logitech G Pro wireless for their mouse. It just seems like it's a possible step towards monopolizing the hardware environment for video games. They already had like a pretty good share of the audience, but I think that this blows it up a little bit. Yeah, not too much to say there other than that. I mean, I think Logitech makes some quality stuff, so I'm not upset about it.
I agree.
Well, Taylor, y'all work with HyperX a good amount, right? We had HyperX equipment.
Yeah, HyperX is one of our platform sponsors. Great supporter of them in Kingston, but we'll see where their new ownership takes them. They've kept their core team intact at HyperX, and really enjoy working with them. And they're sponsoring our tournaments, our partnered events. Just trying to continue providing great equipment, great peripherals to the gaming community.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, HyperX still is like the hardware provider for more professional teams than Logitech is. I know they've been providing for Cloud9 for years, but I don't think that they're going away anytime soon. But I do think that they'll probably have to start making some money moves in a greater way than just team sponsorships, if they want to be able to compete with this big move. Assuming that this move does anything, right? I personally think from a marketing perspective, this is massive, but you never know. I guess we'll just have to see where that takes us. Sorry?
I'm just going to say I just bought some Logitech speakers for my computer, so I'm totally happy with those guys. They've never let me down.
Yeah, absolutely. Second part is Valorant takeover. I don't think it's a surprise, but a lot of CSGO pros are moving over to Valorant. We've already had tons of CSGO pros move over to Valorant. I mean, I feel like 50+% of professional teams are comprised of former CSGO players. 100 Thieves, I think, is entirely comprised of former CSGO players, except for maybe Asuna. But there's news about like Alex moving over from CSGO to Valorant, and I mean, you could just go through any news website for esports and just find, is this person's leaving CSGO, this person's retiring from CSGO, and then it's just all speculation. Are they moving to Valorant? And the answer is usually yes. But it's Valorant. Riot definitely prides themselves in making spectator-friendly esports games, and Valorant is definitely that. They're working it out the kinks in terms of making it more viewer-friendly than something like Overwatch, where all you get is POV for the most part, or this weird like aerial angle where you can see this massive shit happening on the screen that you don't actually know what's happening, which is why Overwatch, I believed, it failed. Beautiful game, incredible balancing, great mechanics. It's not spectator friendly. It's the only reason it hasn't stayed relevant, in my opinion. Stay tuned for Overwatch 2. But Valorant, I think, is starting to take that spot. A lot of Overwatch pros have also left to go to Valorant, and I'm seeing with Riot's release of Teamfight Tactics, with their release of Legends of Runeterra, with their future releases of their roguelike game, with their future release of their fighting game, I have a feeling Riot is about to take over the spectator esports scene in perpetuity, with the exception of maybe the fighting game community. I think that this is a small piece of news about CSGO pros moving over that will eventually lead to a bigger discussion. But I know we talked a lot about that last time.
No, it's definitely a domino effect that's happening. They're taking little pieces of the pie for sure.
Absolutely. Let's move to the exciting games out now. This is our DLC, downloadable content. These are things that are available to you. So we have our first section, not new, but fire. So these are games that are not necessarily came out recently, but they are definitely great games that are worth checking out and have stood the test of whatever time they have come out until now. Brian, go ahead.
So on PC, It Takes Two. I honestly haven't played it yet, but It's got great reviews on Metacritic, or the Metascore is very high. It's made by Hazelight Studios, which, if you're familiar, they came out with a game called A Way Out back in like 2018, and their big shtick is co-op play. So you're bringing in a partner and you play together, and it's a really immersive story. A lot of creativity. Hazelight is an award-winning studio. They won awards for A Way Out, and I would check it out if I were you guys. I don't know about you if you have a friend to play with co-op. There was also another franchise that did co-op too. It was like a shooter. You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm going to sound dumb here.
There was a big
Xbox.
popular one called was it Love in a... I can't remember the name of it, but
Yeah, this is the time where I sound
pretty
dumb.
big.
Nope. No. It's not that one.
Well,
Anyways. Army of
what's-
Two. Army of
Army
Two.
of Two.
So it seems like it's going to be more of a storytelling kind of game as far as It Takes Two. But I'm just seeing really good reviews, guys. That's all I'm
It
saying.
looks cool.
I think I would check it out. Everybody's blowing it up.
Mm-hmm. And that
That's
game
all I
actually
got
did come
for
out
that.
pretty recently, so that's definitely a new hotness game right there.
There you go.
I've heard a lot of good things from the people that have played it over the last month. So yeah, I definitely a good one. I've heard that it's pretty good, pretty fun to play with your significant other too. So
Exactly. If you're looking to play something with maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever friend you
Sicko.
have, try it.
This
you
might
got?
be something I'd try with Anna. I was suggesting Stardew Valley after watching you guys play it the other night. Me and her don't have she doesn't mind, me playing video games at all.
Mhm.
She understands that about me, but
You got
I
to tell them
think,
the story about how she's not a gamer, but then she also. How long has she been? Yeah, please.
Well, yeah, this will be future podcast, I guess, topics. But she says she's not a gamer at all, but yet she is like level 454 in Candy Crush and has been playing Lemonade Stand.
We will
15
talk
years.
about that today because that is what we try to provide and gather experiences for those titles that don't have the competitive nature behind them, creating community and such behind those. So we'll touch on it today. Don't you worry.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to touch on that today.
later.
And we will probably have like a more in-depth podcast about it in the future that maybe you come back as a guest for, because I think that that's a loaded topic that has a lot to dive into, but I definitely am interested in Gather and United in Gaming's take on that and their influence on that. So that's what I for sure want to talk about today.
Didn't mean to interrupt, Jordan. Keep going.
Yeah.
No, it's I'm trying to find the one that's gonna get us to play together, but this looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess for my new hotness, I guess it's not. I don't know if it fits the criteria of our category here, but MLB The Show is coming out. It's been around for a very long time, but excited. Especially, I'm super into. I've played baseball in the past. Always a big baseball fan, Atlanta Braves fan. This is a special one. They're honoring Jackie Robinson, which is a historic baseball player. Broke a lot of barriers racially. I think it's a special one, and especially after this past year, baseball was in a spot that it had never been before, kind of outside of maybe being in strike a year. But it's gonna be, I think, a fun time for me to pick up a sports game again. Really to sports, especially after how much was taken away from me from last year. I'm enjoying it. And it's really fun to play with just like another person that loves to play sports, and it's great way to like get to know the players a little bit better when you play with them so much. Like that's how I got into soccer, was playing FIFA. I want to be more into baseball this year, and I think playing some MLB The Show will be a solid time to do that. And I might be, I think I might be taking advantage of some of these special deluxe editions. I never really reached for them, but the fact that Jackie Robinson is kind of a part of these special editions, it might be a good collector's item to have down the road. So I like to collect those games. So yeah, that's my new hotness.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got my not new game, but fire. Hades. I dropped a bunch of hours on Hades. I think I'm nearing 100 or 100 plus. But if you guys haven't played the game, it's won a ton of awards already. It's an incredible roguelike game where it's a lot of stuff that revolves around mythology, which is very interesting. You play as Zagreus, son of Hades, trying to escape the underworld. And you basically have to keep trying to escape the underworld, and then you find your. I'm not trying to spoil too many things here, but
you there, Kevin.
Ooh, how are we doing?
You sound less like a robot right now.
Oh, I definitely feel the connection dropping a little bit there. How are we doing?
You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're back.
Perfect. Anyways, playing as Zagreus, son of Hades, trying to escape the underworld, getting assistance from the Olympus gods, Zeus, Poseidon, all those people, trying to escape. They give you upgrades to your weapons to make them more powerful to escape with, and then if you don't escape the run, they send you back to the underworld and you can start over. There's different weapons you can choose from. There's different build paths you can go down to succeed. It's definitely a solid roguelike game with an incredible soundtrack, great animations, fantastic voice casting. Highly recommend it. You can definitely sink 100 hours into this game easy and not get bored. Lots of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we covered a good stuff there. Let's go to our queued up category, anticipated games to look out for. These are the ones that aren't quite out yet, but are coming out soon that you should definitely pay attention to.
So I'll jump into it. I talked about this probably the past couple of podcasts and usually talk about it, but the Burning Crusade pre-patch, which is the patch before the game comes out, is going to be expected in May. There were some data miners out there that tracked down the files and saw a potential file scheduled for May 18th for it to be released. So all of us World of Warcrafters are getting eager to prepare for that. Us grinders and gold farmers and dungeon grinders are prepping like it's the end of the world and making sure we have a head start when the Burning Crusade comes out. I'm really excited about this. Since we're starting to stream a little bit more, probably going to see more of my mug playing some of this content. I like to play Shaman, which is kind of a healing class in Classic. Literally just casting chain heal all the time like this. It's kind of annoying. But I will play DPS, Elemental Shaman. Gets a huge buff in the next expansion, the Burning Crusade. I will also be playing a Mage, which I just got 60, and I will be also playing a Paladin. So it's a lot to take on. I don't know how I will have time to do all those things, but I will be trying to stream all of that because they're all different 3 play styles. The Paladin I'm pretty excited about and tanking, doing some raid content there, doing some PvP, doing some arenas, doing some mage farming, maybe do some guides. It's going to be all over the place. It's going to be crazy. But the pre-patch is supposed to be this very unique time in Warcraft because it's like we're going back in time, releasing this game that has been out for 12 years and it was a hit. And now all of a sudden we're in this transitional state where everyone's flooding back to the game and this like all these changes are happening. So it's going to be like a very interesting pocket to play in. I think a lot of cool, funny things are going to happen. And hoping to cover a lot of that content. And we can see the lovely world of players that you have to deal with all the time. But yeah, that's it for me. We'll see a lot more of that content down the road. But yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, I have a slightly different section of the gaming scene to talk about. Guilty Gear Strive, which should be coming out in, I want to say, July. They're doing multiple closed betas to work out some of the kinks, but a lot of professional fighting game players are looking to this as the most recent game to get into. For any fighting game players that aren't stuck to just one game or not like committed to playing only one game, this is the next game that they're looking out for, at least until Melty Blood, the second Melty Blood comes out, or until there's more news about Dragon Ball FighterZ 2, or until a new Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, whatever is released. This is what they're looking out for. The next series in the Guilty Gear series. It's made by Arxis. Arxis also makes Dragon Ball FighterZ, and they've made previous Guilty Gear as well as Blaze Blue. These are all games that people have heralded as good games that are mostly beginner friendly, that have a lot of mechanics that provide for combo extensions and mix up potential and Oki and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one to see if people hop the train to that game. I know a lot of Dragon Ball FighterZ players are moving to it because it's an Arxis game, or if it's going to flop. So far, people seem to be pretty excited about it. The ones that have played the closed beta, with the exception of the lobby, which apparently sucks. But we'll see. We will see. It's definitely the fighting game mainstay that's coming up next. So let's move into our main event section. This is where we really want to get Taylor involved because we have a lot of questions surrounding United in Gaming and Gather, and so we just want to get right into it. Let's start with just whatever you want to tell us about UIG and Gather.
Sure. I know you've mentioned Gather a fair amount. So Gather.gg is the consumer-facing gaming platform that United in Gaming has built. Mm-hmm. On Gather, you can join or organize tournaments, events, experiences in an all-inclusive, welcoming environment. But to talk about Gather, I should probably introduce United in Gaming. Gather is essentially a division of United in Gaming. And United in Gaming, we founded UIG to bring more players into the competitive and casual gaming landscape by creating that welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment, but also creating a forum for talented amateurs to rise through the ranks and have their skills recognized. And then through all of this with Gather, we've found that there's an opportunity to help real life communities form and connect through the fun of competitive gameplay. And we like to say that we're able to do all of these, provide within each of these opportunities through, our best-in-class online platform in Gather.gg for competitive tournaments and head-to-head challenges. And we support our users with social functionality and helping them find their friends and groups to connect with through the games that they love. And then we amplify those events with live, in-person, and virtual events, combining the excitement of eSports competition with social advocacy and creating impact through entertainment, and then bringing it all together with a comprehensive suite of B2B services that help brands and organizations unlock the potential of gaming and esports and reaching their audiences and strengthening their social connections within their audiences. And we've got a great team that works with us here, veteran team with a lot of experience working in the corporate environments, and combining that with gaming and esports. We're creating and supporting thriving communities through esports competition that's both entertaining and empowering.
Really, if I may, gathered a lot of great information there to share. I had to say it.
Thanks for joining us at Dub Talk. We're going to be heading out.
A lot of that.
Bye, Kevin. No, I love what you guys are doing, and you guys are accomplishing a lot, obviously, through everything that you said. And I think one of the things that stands out is your work with veterans that you guys are showcasing. I know bringing those communities together a lot. I think that's kind of something in parallel that we have together. A lot of veterans are have got disabilities from their time in the war, or what have you, and looking for outlets because they can't enjoy maybe the same things that they did before. So, really respect all the work there. And you guys are building great communities. And again, really happy to have you here. Thanks for sharing that.
I'm thankful to be here. That the veteran community, like you mentioned, it's an extremely important community to, I've been saying, equaling the playing field, right? You want everybody to feel like they're competing on the same playing field, no matter what their situation may be. It's just about providing those experiences and making sure that they're available. And just happy to create those and find a way to contribute.
Yeah. So I think you shared, a lot of characteristics of Gather, but what would you say that stands out as like the most, or a couple things that are unique about your platform?
Sure. For starters, our approach is to break away from the mold that is the current competitive landscape of gaming platforms. The battle this, the smash that, the challenge, the tournament, these really gamer heavy connotations. We want to be more inclusive of all gamers, from the super sweaty elite to the completely casual game user, like the Minecrafts, the chess, the Angry Birds to, Candy Crush, right? There's a community and an experience that can be presented behind all these popular titles. And that's the opportunity that, we're looking to offer and we're offering right now.
Very cool.
Then for United in Gaming, one thing is that we get to build on all of the events and experiences that we as a company bring in on our own platform. So we don't have to go to the existing gaming platforms to host our own events, But really what's helped us, drive forward is our ability to white label our Gather platform and provide an ecosystem for large organizations or groups to have their own tournament hosting platform built in their image, essentially an ownable asset for them. Our goal at the end of the day is to help those people find more ways to engage with their community. And with this white label, we and our team, I think we've got the experience to provide it.
So you all provide that, like if we wanted to host tournaments as Evolve and jump on the Gather's platform, we could basically brand ourselves on to Gather's platform.
You could organize it as a casual user. Any user can go in and create their own or organize their own tournament. To dive into the white label, that branded asset for your organization. It's a service oriented opportunity, right? We want to help that organization or that group, host competitive tournaments within a central hosting location, so that it's not a fragmented approach where they have to go talk to 5 different sponsors who are trying to do an event on 5 different platforms. They drive the conversation, or we drive the conversation with their support, just trying to position what those events look like within their own competitive hosting platform.
Yeah, sure. No, I think you guys have a great vision and do a lot of great things. So
I got a question for you, Taylor.
Dude,
what games do you play yourself?
Oh man. So I was not.
Do you have time to play anymore?
I try to. It's like a. Do
you have time for
midnight
games?
to 2 a.m. thing?
Yeah.
Do you have time to play games anymore?
Yeah.
Barely. I find time to stay sane. That is for sure. But I wasn't the biggest hardcore gamer growing up. Yeah, I grew up in the OG Xbox Live parties, and that sort of shaped me for the rest of my life. Some battle scars and some fun conversations in those. But growing up, it was Halo, FIFA. So I love playing soccer, Guitar Hero, just the typical Xbox games. My brother was a big World of Warcraft player, top 500 PvP, and he never really had the opportunity, which kind of led me into this. But myself, I love Battle Royale, PUBG, Call of Duty, Fortnite. I love the last man standing concept. I just think it's fun, and everyone has the same chance going in there. It's like it's an equal opportunity playing field. Everybody drops in the same map, and it's random generation right there. But I got a Nintendo Switch for Valentine's Day. My girlfriend wanted to have us starting to play games more together. So I'm getting back into some of my favorites, the Mario parties.
Yeah.
Like that is my suggestion for you, Jordan. Get a Switch.
I've been talking about it. They were like out of stock all last year, so I can get one. I might have to get it tonight.
I got one. I don't know what she did to get it, but it showed up and we're gaming on it. But
I love
mention in the anticipated games to look out for, but Mario Golf and Pokemon Snap. I am ready for those two.
I heard about
Pokemon Snap. Gosh, basic. So basic, but just
it was great.
Thrilling when you got that great photo.
I don't need anything intense. I give enough intensity with the battle royale games. Like I need something to calm my heart rate, not so much like.
For sure. Sunday scaries, but
very cool. Yeah, I can definitely relate with those online lobbies, man. Some of the verbal abuse you get, it just shapes you. You know,
I was talking to someone about this today. We were talking about Call of Duty and just video games. Somehow, I like to bring it up. And like games, like nowadays, they are so competitive, and it's so hard to sometimes enjoy it. Like I think I always will play video games because it's always something that I enjoy, and I just like by habit will pick it up. But that competitive aspect, it's like like Call of Duty Warzone, I barely pick it up because like I just get mopped up every time and I don't enjoy it. It's so competitive. But like I can't wait to pick up some Nintendo Switch and just have.
Did we lose him?
We lost Jordan.
No.
We lost you. Jordan, if you can hear us, blink twice. Okay, we got you. He's back. The blinks brought him back.
But
Since you're back, I don't know if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question, not to get too existential, but why do you play video games?
For fun, mostly to chill. There's a lot going on in the 9 to 5. Well, it's not 9 to 5 when you do what we do. It's 24/7. But when you have that little bit of time to break off and catch a break, that's the big thing for me. And then connecting with friends. Having a chance during this past year to connect with friends that I'd never played Call of Duty with or play video games with before. And it's like now, like, hey, you've been one of my like closest friends for 10 years, but you game on the side, I game on the side. Let's game together. And the connective features of gaming these days make that just that much easier for us to involve ourselves with. So that's what I like gaming for. It's just chilling out and connecting with friends.
It's too true.
Too
true.
I'm not good enough to sweat. Like I do sweat, but I sweat with one kill in the last circle.
True.
Yeah. So I guess speaking of this, we're talking about it now. Like, where do you see like esports being in the next few years?
I mean, is it too much to ask for Ready Player One? I mean, no.
I love that reference, and I think that is so.
That's right. It's gonna get there eventually. My answer is like it's more integration. I think in real life we'll support digital and vice versa. Right? There's more access now to digital communities and experiences within those games and communities than ever before. So it's about how people consume that entertainment. Right? It's ultimately moved to more of an accessible format right now with platforms like Twitch and YouTube. And we'll see how the migration of entertainment is consumed and how that goes. But yeah, I think that as we integrate more, as technology becomes more advanced, the games become more receptive to these outside influences. There'll be more opportunity for the transition migration from IRL to digital. So that's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, video games receive technology advancements very well and grow rapidly because of those things more than I think a lot of business sectors. So
I look forward to like the arena full of battle royale concept where you have 100 people with their Oculuses and their treadmills and their duck hunts. And they're
just like Ready
they're
Player
doing the
One.
whole thing, and it's consumed in the stadium and people are loving it. It's consumed all across the world digitally, but you have the stadium event and you just combine the best of both worlds. And I think that's where it can go. It just needs to get there.
Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily, this is maybe just nearsighted of me because we're living in the current, but I think that if competitive VR gaming becomes popular, I think it's going to be an entirely different sect than PC/console gaming. Like anything that involves a controller or keyboard and mouse, I think that you're diving into an entirely different realm, and I think it would be great if that was a separate competitive outlet. But I think providing that as the future and the only future, that concerns me due to people with possible physical limitations. Obviously, over at Evolve, we're working on trying to help with adaptive gaming, trying to make sure that everybody has equal opportunity there. And so I hope to see that become a sect of competitive gaming, but I also hope that we don't lose things that are more accessible to a greater audience too.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's just a sidebar. It has nothing to do with you or your company. I think your company is doing amazing things, but I just thought that was something that came to my mind. How did you get into esports specifically? By the way, I wanted to ask you that.
That's a great question. So, like I said, I wasn't always into gaming. My brother was a hardcore gamer. He was the top 500 PvP in Worldcraft, but just was that he liked to connect with his friends and play and get sweaty when he got sweaty, but never really progressed that into anything that he could build a career out of. So, what I'm going to get to is, providing more opportunity for gamers. So I got into esports working at a sports agency, believe it or not, traditional sports agency here in Atlanta. And that's where I met my co-founder as well. It was the time of the Ninja Drake Fortnite stream, and my partner was running the esports division, and I was working with the traditional sides of sports entertainment for them, doing marketing and sponsorships. And that stream proved that cultures were colliding. Viewership was going up. It was a time to get in. It's my directive to build out events and opportunities for my brands to find ways to integrate themselves into new pop culture and entertainment type style events, and that was generating viewership. So it was a natural fit. So my partner and I, we started to throw events with some partners local to Atlanta, the Braves, Imagine Music Festival, creating experiences and tournaments that would be fun for the gaming community, but also a way for sports, entertainment, and pop culture to involve themselves and project their brand into a demographic that was increasingly getting younger, right? For baseball, it's like, hey, everyone's cutting the cord, but no one's cutting the cord at 15 because they never had the cord. They were already just on this viewership platform, just providing these experiences for those users in a way that they haven't seen before or haven't had access to before. So those events were exciting. They were fun. They're a lot of work, but we wanted to do more than just cool events. We wanted to open up those experiences to the people consuming, viewing, and engaging in those events. So we built the web-based platform Gather to help do just that. It was to open up the opportunity for the people that were consuming it in a way that they didn't have before. If there was a tournament that played into this experience that, we have 500,000 people watching the Imagine Music Festival gaming experience, Shaq playing Mario Kart. If I could create a tournament that was accessible to the community, then I'm sure that we could generate a lot of interest in people that would want to have a chance to win a spot next to Shaq playing Mario Kart and Imagine Music Festival. It's like, how can we open this up to the community and provide more? And it has, no pun intended, evolved into so much more.
Thank you for reciprocating.
Thank for us to see the progression that we have right now with Gather and the tournaments that we have.
Yeah, I think you mentioned a lot of what my next question is going to be. I'm just going to name a couple things. What makes a good event, and I think you named a couple things that stood out in my mind. Accessibility, communities. What else am I missing? From someone
The strategy and execution to get them
right
on stream and live, and we're ready to
There's
go.
a lot of things.
Hold on, let me get my pen and paper for this. One second. What makes it so we don't ever have to partner with you again? Can you tell us in detail what makes a good event? No, I'm just kidding. What do you think at its core, like if you had to think of like core principles, or if you don't want to do it from a principles perspective, a chronological perspective, what makes a good solid event, right? Like what is it at its core?
Yeah, I mean, it's the team. You got to have a good team, right? You have to know what areas you want to focus on and make sure you have eyes on it, eyes that you know are capable of getting the job done, right? And that's going to preferred partners, experienced partners, and just making sure everything's accounted for as you prepare for the event, and then as you lead up to the event, just making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, and that folds into the strategy and the execution. Jordan was on me for a calendar and timeline of events, and that's one of the most important things, because you have to keep everybody aligned and you have to keep everybody moving forward on the same path and hitting the same strides, same milestones, keeping the same lines of communication, central message, all of that just together. So having the team that you trust is the most important part for me.
I like that preparation up to the event. I think those are definitely the core principles when it comes to the execution of an event. Not necessarily like day of, but let's say from the audience perspective or the competitor perspective, what do you think from their eyes makes a good event? What are the things that you focus on from an audience or participant perspective?
With all the preparation comes the content, right? And the content, the audience expects a certain level of content, and that's what we try to produce for them, obviously. And then within that audience, we want to provide engaging and inclusive ways for them to involve themselves within that stream or within that event or experience. So that's talking to partners like the Tiltifies, who have these great integrated charity campaigns that you can incorporate into your streams. It's having the engagement giveaways, every few people who engage, right in the Twitch chat, they have a chance to win a prize, things like that. Just the small things that keep their eyes on the stream, and just those types of partnerships help move that forward.
That makes sense. I mean, anybody can put up an event that has like content to view, but how do you keep people around when they click, and how do you get more people to come in? And yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. It's any idiot with a camera and a free OBS studio can put on an event, but what separates it from being a good event? And I think that makes a lot of sense. Just that audience engagement.
Passion too, like that people pick up on if you're just doing a logo slap or you're trying to actually make an effect, like affect real change. So that is the central messaging and communication. So if the team has that central message, then you're portraying that to the talent, and the talent can communicate that to their viewers, and the shoutcasters have more tools to inform the community what's going on and how they can help or how they can be involved. So just about having a strategy to involve them not only during the stream, but post stream, pre-stream. There's lots of ways to get people involved.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. What do you think? And this is probably the last question that I have in regards to what makes a good event. But when it comes to the content versus the audience engagement versus the extra mile, what do you think leads in priority for maybe it's audience engagement, or maybe it's just execution of your event? Do you think it's about the vision that you set at the beginning, or do you think it's more about like just in general audience engagement is most important?
Well, the most important thing is always the vision in my mind, right? Because the foundation for success, the metrics that you'll get by proving your vision or creating an event that supports your vision, that's what you really want to make sure stays true the whole time, right? If the vision is, put in the back seat and you're more worried about the monetization of an event, then I feel like at that point you've kind of lost the point of, or the reasons why you actually got into the event in the first place. So it's just, you got to have the right combination of vision, engagement, metrics to support that. You're hitting your KPIs so that you're building a foundation for the future that supports your vision. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish with Evolve and the Shepherd Center Cup, was to, pursue the vision and create the foundation for the adaptive gaming series to be successful. And those don't get lost in the sauce, right? You've got a great vision, and there's a way to accomplish that. Just there's the people that are out there that want to help. So I've found that if you stray away from the vision and you're bringing people on to support that vision, to support the start at the starting line, you want those same people to finish with you at the finish line, right? And it's about keeping the same vision, keeping people motivated, and just having that togetherness. And the vision brings it all together.
That's awesome. Bear with me. I have two more questions for you, just in general. My first, we hadn't written down, so if you don't have an answer, that's fine. If you could think of something off the top of your head, what do you believe to be your best, like your favorite event that you've either viewed or participated in your life, right? It doesn't have to be esports related. It could be sports. It could be a concert. It could be anything. And why?
Man, that is tough.
Tough one now.
Or just maybe pick a good one. It might be better to not say the best, but a good one that comes to memory. It could be one of yours too. I mean, honestly.
I'll do a couple. I think so. Oh, yeah. I loved Imagine Music Festival, right? That was an experience and an animal in and of itself. The Braves was cool because you get to brush shoulders with professional athletes, professional gamers, but we also did that with Imagine Music Festival. But to have the music festival going on in the background, right? Yeah. You have world-renowned DJs and people taking you backstage, and like you just are seeing smiles on faces that they've never experienced before. Like we had a member of FaZe Clan show up, FaZe Rug, and he was blown away at what the festival entailed, right? So it's just like seeing smiles on people's faces brings a smile to my face, creating that opportunity, but also just having fun in the moment too. It's not every day you get to go on the main stage at a major music festival and get to jump around and make a fool of yourself, which I probably did.
Right. I definitely can see that.
And then another cool experience. Super Bowl is fun. Yeah. Into 3 Super Bowls. The last one in Houston, albeit a bad outcome.
Let's not talk about that.
It was a once in a lifetime experience. Got to hang out with Beyonce and Floyd Mayweather. I was working an event with that sports agency at the time. Floyd Mayweather Super Bash for the Super Bowl. We got to go to Beyonce's recording studio where she first recorded all of her events, and Snoop Dogg was playing. So it was just like who's who. And I was like one of the cooler parties that I've been to. And the ESPYs, Dead Day in Sports for gaming, for everyone to know. ESPYs in July, at the day before and the day after, are the 3 best days to get professional athletes to play in video game tournaments, because there are no actual sporting events going on those days. So July is maybe not with all these schedules, but it has in the past shown to be a day where people are accessible, or at least the traditional sports athletes are accessible around the ESPYs time. So that was fun.
I gotcha. Really cool. Yeah.
The shorter experiences to be had, though. Let's not dwell on the past and look forward to the future.
Right. That being said, what events do you have coming up that people should look out for?
We've got our weekly Call of Duty tournaments. Like we have one today. Today's the 18th. We have another on the 23rd of May, another $5,000 tournament. We have weekly free to enter tournaments for Call of Duty, $500 prize pools. You just come out, get noticed, have fun. Then we have one event on Memorial Day. It's actually a veterans awareness event. It's a company called Operation American Dream, a charity called Operation American Dream. They're based out of South Florida, and they support the families of fallen soldiers, first line defenders, and we're hosting a gaming event to help drive awareness and raise some funds for some of these families that have been affected by their family members that have fallen in the line of duty.
Well, that's amazing. What a great cause. I'm glad to hear about those. I mean, I know people that I can share those events with as well as myself, so I'll definitely be doing that. Taylor, thank you so much. We're going to move into the post-game chat now, where we're going to talk just briefly about what we believe the clutches and the crutches of our podcast were today. It's a fun little new segment we're going to try out. First clutch of the podcast, I'm just going to say having Taylor as a guest has been amazing. His engagement in all of the sections of our podcast has been awesome, and obviously, like, the work that United in Gaming does is admirable and enviable. So thank you so much, Taylor. For sure.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments. Definitely appreciate that. I think this could be considered a crutch to other people's, but I as a clutch, I think it's a clutch moment that your flag fell multiple times, Brian.
Yeah, that was
maybe for you that was the crutch, but for me that was a clutch, like, laughable moment. I was trying to stay locked in on the stream, and
then you got Robert playing in the background. Jesus,
I'll make sure to know if I ever need to hang anything in my place to not call you. But yeah. Good to see your place in the background. Welcome to mine.
Got old Robert Plant in my den here. It's, just a chill spot, my man cave. But that was going to be my crutch, actually, with my flag, my background. So
I got another clutch. Kevin, you're an excellent host. Our in-house shoutcaster did a killer job at the AGS. I think we'll probably hire you again. Hopefully you'll have us.
Thank you.
Yes, you are well spoken and a great guide. Thank you, our team Sacagawea.
Thank you. That leads me to a crutch for myself. I know that Brian has a clutch that's relevant to this, but a crutch for myself is that because of how I've set up the Twitch stream, only the Twitch stream can see me. And I definitely know a workaround for that I thought of while we've been recording, but the fact that I don't get to be video chatting with you guys, I mean, I can see your faces, you just can't see mine, and my hair looks amazing today.
I've just been looking at Craig the whole time thinking it's you.
Not the one with the mustache, that actually is me.
No.
Yeah, my hair looks amazing today. Also a clutch. My girlfriend does my hair and she dyes it and it looks amazing, and sadly you guys can't see it, and so I'm going to fix that for next time, where I can make sure I can be on a video chat with you and have it streamed to Twitch as well.
My clutch was Brian with his hat, making me feel comfortable with mine.
Nice.
Yeah, man, throw it back. This is just letting your hair down.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday fun day.
All about making our guests feel comfortable.
I got a crutch. I mean, not a crutch. Well, the crutch obviously was the flag. Okay, guys.
Say it again though for the people in the back.
The flag, guys. My clutch was, this is like our first live recording on Twitch. I think Kevin has done an amazing job getting that all set up in OBS. Sure, we can't see his lovely hair. I can vouch for you. It is nice.
That's great hair.
Okay, it's nice.
I'll watch the recording back. No worries. It'll be on YouTube.
We'll have to watch it back on YouTube. Yeah, so watch back the recording at a later date. But also go onto the website, evolveyg.com. We'll have our podcast up there shortly. We've already got our last 2 episodes up, and it's all coming together, boys.
Yeah, I think it's a good segue into what's some closing remarks and what's coming up next for us. Podcasts are up on the website. We've neglected some other social media channels. We'll be having a better, improved social media presence. We're going to be putting these podcasts on YouTube, be pushing them out, hopefully get 1 million likes and become viral famous on the first one. You know how it is. No, but
just for the flag.
Just for the flag, it's going to go viral. But we're also planning the next AGS with Shepard and United in Gaming /Gather. had some early conversations. We want to go big and better next time, real big, real huge. I think we have a lot of games, a lot of ideas that we weren't able to do this first time because it's kind of our pilot episode. But like all good seasons or show, that pilot episode is the one that hopefully sticks in your mind and sets the right foundation for the future. So, Taylor, glad to see you guys grow. Hoping to join you guys on the ride. I think I'm missing a couple closing remarks here. Does anyone else want to share some other things that we're doing or have some ideas about? Brian, I know you've been working on something that.
Streamer support has become a focal point of the company right now. I think we've talked about this multiple times with the team, and sort of like what we offer as services could be expanded upon, and we want to support streamers as well and content creators, and by offering packages to where we can make montages for you once a month, maybe make some custom graphics on your OBS, that kind of thing. So that's coming very soon. It's been a beta kind of test for a couple months now, and we're also offering that sort of service to schools. So big things popping on the streamer support services.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I like it. And yeah, we have loved having you guys watch our podcast. And Taylor, we've loved having you as a guest. You can look into this camera, this camera, this camera, probably just the one that you're looking at right now. Tell the people what you got going on at home. That's a Hot Ones reference.
Is that for me?
Anyways, no. I just wanted to see if you had any closing remarks, anything that you wanted to say before we leave.
Just
looking forward to working with you guys more on opportunities local to Atlanta and growing those opportunities to supporting the rest of the country. Excited to be a part of what you guys are doing, and thanks for involving us with the Shepherd Center and the Adaptive Gaming Series. And love this. And let's talk about more how to get our girlfriends into gaming with us. Next
podcast for sure. Next podcast, we'll one of our next couple of episodes, we'll definitely talk about that. And we'll definitely have you back for it.
A couple.
Looking forward to it.
All right, guys.
Thanks for joining.
Good talk.
Hopefully everybody enjoyed. Good talk, Dub Talk. Have a good one.
Wise, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hang up already.